More than 2,600 people on both sides have now been killed in the war in the Middle East, and that includes at least 25 Americans, according to the State Department. Let's bring in Antwan Lewis for more on where things stand here on day number 6. Antwan.
Chris, senior White House officials are now on the ground in Israel. This as the president speaks about U.S. efforts to free Americans being held hostage by Hamas militants.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv early Thursday. He then quickly met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to affirm America's support for its closest ally.
As Israel's defense needs evolve, we will work with Congress to make sure that they're met. And I can tell you, there is overwhelming bipartisan support in our Congress for Israel's security.
Israeli forces continue airstrikes against key Gaza targets as a top Hamas commander reportedly has been killed. Some 360,000 reservists have been mobilized as Israel may be preparing for a ground attack. Hamas has fired thousands of rockets into Israel. Netanyahu not mincing words as he compared Hamas to another internationally recognized terrorist group.
Hamas is ISIS, and just as ISIS was crushed, so too will Hamas be crushed. And Hamas should be treated exactly the way ISIS was treated.
Conditions in Gaza remain dire. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened and the power plant is no longer operating. Hospital generators will run out of fuel in days, putting patients' lives in jeopardy. Israeli officials say the airstrikes will continue and shipments of fuel, food, and medical supplies will not be allowed in until all hostages are freed. Netanyahu has formed a wartime cabinet to facilitate its war effort against Hamas.
They should be spit out from the community of nations. No leader should meet them. No country should harbor them. And those that do should be sanctioned.
The death toll in the now 6-day-old war has surpassed 2,600 on both sides. Officials say more than 1,300 have been killed in Israel alone, including 25 Americans. 17 Americans remain unaccounted for. The White House confirming that U.S. citizens are among the estimated 150 taken from Israel now being held hostage in Gaza. While attending a roundtable with Jewish leaders Wednesday, President Biden addressed questions about U.S. efforts to free hostages.
Press are going to shout to me, and many of you are, that, what are you doing to get these folks home? If I told you, I wouldn't be able to get them home.
The United Nations says about 339,000 people in Gaza out of a population of about 2.3 million have been displaced. Egypt is in talks with the U.S. and Israel to secure safe corridors to deliver aid to besieged Palestinians in Gaza. Another report coming up today at 5. Chris?
All right, Antwan, thank you very much.